Answer is 27. Answer should be 100 on this one. Answer should be 35. Answer is 47. The answer is 82. The winning numbers today are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The objective today is to find the equation of a line that is either parallel or perpendicular to a given line and passes through a given point. Example number 1. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. We need a line that is parallel. That's not an 11. That's a parallel symbol. This line must be parallel to y equals negative 2x plus 3 and pass through the point 6, negative 4. Start with y equals mx plus b, and if you're looking for a parallel line, then use the same slope that is given to you in the problem. Y equals negative 2x plus b. Use the same slope. Then plug in this point, xy. Negative 4 goes in for y and 6 in for x. Once you do that, you have to solve for b. So simplify this part to get negative 12, and then move it to the left, changing the sign, and simplify. You're going to plug this back into here, where you had that slope. So your final answer is y equals negative 2x plus 8. This point, or this line, is parallel to this one and passes through this point. Here's a review. You're given this equation. You're looking for a line that's parallel and passes through this point. Use this to start with. If it's parallel, use the same slope and dump it in here. Then plug in these two numbers. This is x and y. So the x goes here and the y goes there. This is x, this is y. Simplify this part, move it to the left, change the sign, and then simplify. Put this back in right there for b to get your final equation. Example 2. Y equals 2/3 x plus 6, and it's going to be parallel and passing through the point 3, 5. Start with y equals mx plus b and put in this slope because it's parallel. Parallel lines have the same slope. So y equals 2/3 plus x, or 2/3 x plus b. Plug in this point, xy. 5 equals 2/3 times 3 plus b. Simplify this spot here. 2/3 times 3 is 6 over 3. And that reduces to 2 plus b. 6 over 3 is 2. Move this to the left side and change the sign. And then simplify to get 3. Plug this back into B. There. Y equals 2/3 x plus 3. Alright, start with y equals mx plus b. Since this is parallel, you're using this slope, -4, so put it in here for m. And now plug in these points, x and y. Y is 6 and x is -2. Simplify here to get an 8, and then move it to the left, changing the sign. And that is a -2. Plug that in right there to finish out the equation. Y equals -4x minus 2. Answer to the bonus was 64 before I erased it. Start with y equals mx plus b. Since it's parallel, you're going to use this slope, 2/3. Plug in this point, xy. -2 equals 2/3 times -5 plus b. Simplify here to get a -10/3. And move that to the other side and make it plus 10/3. -2 needs a denominator of 3. So if I have a denominator of 3, that would make the top 6. What I do to the bottom, multiply by 3, I do to the top. So -6/3 plus 10/3 is going to be 4/3. And then we're going to put that back in for this. We don't need mixed numbers. So y equals 2/3 x plus 4/3. Answer to the bonus is 79. Answer to the bonus is 54. Winning numbers are 2, 6, and 10. Example 3. The problem is y equals -3x plus 5. We're looking for a line that is perpendicular to that and passes through the point 6, 8. Again, the problem is this line needs a perpendicular line through it that creates right angles that passes through the point 6, 8. Start with y equals mx plus b, and since this is perpendicular, you have to flip and change the sign of the slope. Flip and change the sign of the slope. So if I flip that slope, I get 1/3, and if I change the sign, it becomes positive. Now plug in the point. 8 equals 1/3 times 6 plus b. If I multiply 1/3 by 6, I get 2. Move it to the left, change the sign. Come up with 6. And then plug that back in up here to get y equals 1/3 x plus 6. To find the negative reciprocal, if it's 5, it would be a negative 1 over 5. If it's a negative 3, it would be a positive 1 over 3. If it's 2 over 3, then it's a negative 3 over 2. And if it's a negative 4 over 5, it would be 5 over 4. You flip it and change the sign. Example 4. Y equals a negative 1/3 x plus 2. We need a line that's perpendicular, and it must pass through this point, negative 5, 2. So start out with y equals mx plus b, and since it's perpendicular, you have to use the negative reciprocal, which would be 3. And then plug in this point. 2 and negative 5. So that would be a negative 15, which you would move to the left, change the sign, and come up with 17. So your final answer is y equals 3x plus 17. Start off with y equals mx plus b. Use the negative reciprocal of that slope, which would be 5 over 2. And then plug in this point. Simplify to get a negative 10 over 2, which simplifies even further to get a negative 5. Move that negative 5 to the left and make it plus 5, which would give you a 6. And plug it in here for b. Y equals 5 over 2x plus 6. Answer is 78 on the bonus.